Residents in this area are asked to please lock all external doors and vehicles and remain vigilant. Review your surveillance cameras and contact police if you observe anything suspicious. If you see this individual, do not approach him. Call 911 immediately.
Yeah, but although very tight-lipped about this investigation, the U.S. Marshal's Office told me that it has been interviewing Zimmerman's mom. The office explained that an investigation is being conducted.
Somebody's helping him. Even they said the tape was deleted.
He's a charismatic guy. He asked this guy and said, hey, I just got in a fight with my wife. Can you give me a ride to Walmart? This guy said that I'm going to Memphis. He said that's even better.
We are on day 61 of the manhunt for Joshua Zimmerman. Escaped from the DeSoto County Courthouse on June 14th. He was last seen in Memphis, Tennessee on June 15th, and he's been a ghost in the machine ever since. Here's what we know. It's the same that we've known for about 60 days now. The escapee was in custody for an attempted murder, a carjacking, and armed robbery in DeSoto County, Mississippi, when authorities in Houston informed DeSoto County, Mississippi, that the arrestee's name, the inmate's name, is not Mike, because he was going by Mike Zimmerman. It's not Damian Quinta, whatever. It's Joshua Zimmerman. He's wanted for murder in our state, they said, of murder in the first degree. And then Connecticut calls and says, yeah, we want him for raping men. So that is how he's in the system, right? That's back in September of 23 when he gets picked up. Fast forward 200 and some days, the individual befriends COs, he befriends staff, and he befriends locals, right? And this is a Ted Bundy kind of guy, so he can befriend a lot of people easily. Makes his connections. Mother sends Cash App, $600 and some to the CO, saying that Zimmerman had told her that, hey mom, I'm going to jail for life. I'm getting sentenced to life in prison today. The family has been through the legal system before. So when you're charged with something like murder, right? Murder was August of 23. Okay, let's use common sense. The murder happens. He travels to Mississippi and does an attempted murder, yada, armed robbery, gets arrested. So the murder is on the table. Tina, the mother, sends him the money, makes the calls, and says that he told her that he was about to get sentenced to do life in prison. He was on trial for carjacking and attempted murder. He wasn't even on trial yet, anywhere, at all. Don't forget that. Connecticut, he got charged with raping a man, and he fled to like hell. He took off because, God forbid, and he wasn't too thrilled when the people in Connecticut found out that he was raping men, and that he was made out to be a charming guy, for girls were falling for him. He was like the guy, but nobody knew that he was raping men, which really ticked off a lot of men and women. If you're a rapist of any kind, it ticks people off. But this guy rapes both, which raises both eyebrows instead of the one. You know, you're kind of like, wait, what? So you've got a rapist that rapes men and women. You've got a killer. You've got an attempted killer. You've got a carjacker. What crimes are we leaving out other than mass murder, right? And that's a threat that he made, that he's going to be doing. So you have everything else. Everything. He beats kids. I'll put the photo of the docket sheet for him harming children, because the mother said he's never harmed the children. Yes, he did, you liar. He harms kids, he harms elderly, and I'll put that up. Like his friends are saying that his friend that shot a cop didn't shoot a cop because they cited a news article. His criminal documents say first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer by a felon with a gun. I mean, that's kind of clear cut. I don't give a damn what the news says, because the news doesn't even know about Zimmerman apparently being on the run. So you want me to trust that DeSoto County let out a carjacker and that Zimmerman's friend just shot a random guy, and the news is saying he shot somebody, but the court documents say he shot and killed a cop? I'm gonna believe court documents over, I don't give a damn if it's CNN, ABC, Fox, AP. You can't get that wrong. If you're charged with a crime, right, it doesn't mean that you are guilty, but you can't get it wrong. The charge is murder of a police officer. That's the charge. His family, Zimmerman's family, is defending the individual. Defending him, defending Zimmerman. I mean, who's next? You know, I'm not going to get into it. But again, guys, the individual is beyond a danger, beyond a threat. And now it is kind of all of the, I'm not going to say a lot of the intel that they have indicates that he hasn't gotten far, right? But the problem is a lot of that is going on gut feeling, and everybody does that, because if there is no trail, you have to start following your gut and see other connections that you could be missing. With that said, there is the same, how do I put this without scaring people? The probability of Zimmerman being in Memphis or DeSoto is the same as him being in Philadelphia, Connecticut, New York. That's where we are right now. So the same level of confidence that Zimmerman remains in Tennessee is the same amount of confidence that he made it to the East Coast. There is more evidence than not to determine, to indicate that he came here. There's more evidence that he left Tennessee and made it to the East Coast than there is of him staying in Tennessee. They are still trying to vet all of that, from surveillance to scent. Literally, I know that they had a few Greyhound buses physically emptied, like when they got to the bus stop, because he wasn't on that bus that day, but there was a chance that he took it before, like a week or two. So they brought dogs in with his scent to go to buses and see the buses that he would have journeyed through. So it's a big process that they're dealing with. Greyhound has surveillance, not the greatest at every stop. They don't have the greatest at every stop, but obviously their hubs do, and that's a target. But again, guys, I'm going to say it again. The chance of him being in Memphis, Tennessee, or DeSoto County is equal as, if you look at my tweet, I put like gold medal and then I put silver medal. So gold medal are the places where he has an equal chance of being at. Equal, meaning he can be in Memphis 100%. He can be in Philadelphia 100%. He can be in Connecticut 100%. Now the secondary ones are places that he already visited since July 4th of 24 this year while on the run, or places that he's going to visit. That's the thing that we are trying to weed out and figure out. So the ones that are secondary are places that he has visited or is going to visit. And it's important because if he visited, try to think back. Did you see somebody that matches his description weeks ago? You have to think back to early July. We're now in August. So if he did travel, it would have been July 4th, like we said, right? And he would have been in North Carolina, that Raleigh region, up until the 14th. 14th or 15th, it's right then and there. I have to double check, but it's a day off. So that is as possible as him being in Memphis or in Tennessee or in Mississippi. So Philadelphia is number 3. Connecticut number 4. So essentially the way it is right now, well, as of this morning, it was Tennessee, Mississippi, Philadelphia. And no, I think Connecticut was actually removed from primary for something. So Connecticut is not a primary region of interest per se, as far as the escapee is concerned. That is an area of interest for some other people that are watching, but not for the escapee himself, I'll put it that way. New York City, you guys have been upgraded because the route from the potential sighting goes from Raleigh, North Carolina to DC. I'm gonna not put every stop. That is why the people that have been on alert are the cities with credible sightings and also credible intelligence that leads them to believe he is on his way there or he has visited. And it's a big deal because if he is on his way there, he may victimize, or if he left already, he may have already killed and he may have already raped and kidnapped. We don't know. That is where we are on that. Now, if you look at the bronze R places, do not take them lightly. The only places that you guys should take lightly, I have a timer. The only places you guys should take lightly are the states that I don't talk about at all. And honestly, that's like Texas, you're okay. That's it. Everybody else, essentially, you guys are going to end up being on an alert by Christmas if they don't get far. But we are going, obviously, and we're not saying that all of these regions are all interest. We're trying to break them down into it's going to be a 3-tier kind of method because of how experienced Zimmerman is. We have to put tiers to this thing and say that last sighting is still going to be number one because of the fact that that's the last visual sighting. Now, the other cities are going to come from credible information. And when I say we're going to leave certain bus stops out, it's because, for example, say a bus stops in Macomb, Georgia, right? And they switch and the witness gets off. We don't know if the escapee got off in the next city or at the last stop, right? So what we do is we know that he did not get off at that one stop, but here's where the bus was going. That's where a lot of these cities are coming up. And again, Philadelphia, be very vigilant, and all the immediate areas outside of Philadelphia, including like Camden, New Jersey, be on the lookout. Those literally anything within spitting distance of Philadelphia, be on the lookout. New York City, be on the lookout. Washington, D.C., be on the lookout. And again, Tennessee, don't let your guard down. It's very possible he's there. Very possible, just as possible that he's here. So I don't like that possibility much. I'm sure you don't either. But the thing is I guess I'm now as in the manhunt as you guys are in DeSoto County. Because if he came to Philly, we'll be there in 20 minutes and it will be Danilo Cavalcante round 2. It's a 1-year anniversary. Maybe we'll get lucky and the idiot comes to our turf. Zimmerman, if you're watching, come to Philadelphia. They'll catch your coward behind so quick. Unless there is a hiding spot, I'll give it to you. You have to go to Longwood Gardens and you can hide there for 10 days. That'll buy you. But other than that, bro, you better make a run out of Philly if you're in Philly. And I wouldn't go to the East Coast, because the East Coast, I mean, you have Virginia, the capital of intelligence. You have New York City, where they watch like hawks because of terrorists. You have Philly, who doesn't like your unibrow. I mean, they're coming at you for that. And then you have the most, again, I'm not going to get into too much. If you live in these regions, remain vigilant. If you see something in Philadelphia, it could be a sighting. That means call the cops. Also, I know how Philly is, and it's a very delayed response. Nothing against Philly cops. It's just how it is. There's a lot of calls. If you live in Philly, try to shoot a memo or a DM to Philly Crime Update as well, just in case, because that handle is great and it answers all the time when it comes to Philly stuff. Or me, I am going through my spam a lot more. I promise you guys, for some reason, X is throwing everybody in spam. You can DM me as well, and just general info. If you see him at Acme, just say Acme, Westchester Pike, 6 p.m., July 12th. Might have seen him. That's enough. We're not giving that to them as a sighting. We are literally giving it to them to rule it out, and that's all they want to do. Because if they rule it out, that's amazing. But if it comes back as it's him, that's even better. Because then they know where he's at. They can set up a perimeter and they can take him out, because that's where this is going. Zimmerman, your days are limited. Your time to turn yourself in is now. If you want to see your family ever again, I'm sure you can still get the deal where you go to Connecticut and do life in prison in Connecticut without killing anybody. The second you fire that gun, you are putting everybody that helped you in your life, your relatives, those who were there for you when nobody else was and nobody else ever would be, you're going to put their lives in great danger when it comes to charges. You can't open fire in other states as an escaped prisoner to begin with. You can't do it to begin with, but you're an escaped killer who's threatening some rather wild stuff. They will take it out, and you can ask if you can find the wife of people like the Boston bomber, if you can find the girlfriends and the family members of the Lanzas and stuff. You can ask them, what do they do to the family members of stuff like that? Nobody knows, because the people that pick them up, nobody knows who the hell they are, what they do, except their government will handle it from here. There is a great risk, a great chance that Zimmerman is coming to Connecticut still to cause a lot of harm. When I say that, he has the intent to one-up his Texas crime by 5 so he can stay in Connecticut. That is not an option, Zimmerman. They're going to send you to Texas right away. You're going to get executed if you don't end up at Guantanamo first or something like that. The best way to go about it, make contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office, make contact with the U.S. Marshals, get a line of communication going, and you might make it out of this thing alive. Your family might be able to live a life. I'm sure you didn't want to drag them into it, but now you have, and now it's too late to start trying to fix things. The only person that can fix things, Zimmerman, is you. And that's by turning yourself in. And if you make it a peaceful surrender, you're going to make me look like an idiot because I've been saying that you're a monster, you're a killer, you're this, you're that. So if you prove me wrong and turn yourself in, and then everything goes back to normal. I mean, you're not going to get away with murder. This is the United States. Once you're known as the murderer, I'm sure there are thousands that just never got known. You're known, you escaped, you're effed. There is no going back. Do you want to take your family with you? Maybe you do. I don't know. That's kind of sick because they sent you money, they try to help you, and now you're effing them. Because the more you're out there, they're not patient, the feds. Somebody's getting arrested, and they're going to arrest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 until they get you. And then they're going to hold the other ones on a ton of charges, and you're going to get everybody that ever supported you in prison. You're not going to have any friends in prison when they find out that you sold out your own mom and your family and let them get in trouble for your mistakes. They helped you, they tried to do their best, and now they're doing the right thing, which is asking for you to turn yourself in. You could have gotten away. They gave you the key. They tried. I'll give them that. And then they stopped because they got caught, but they stopped. So it's still, you had a chance, and now you're going to, Connecticut is also number 2, but I'm going to hit the main ones again because I kind of memorized them. So Arkansas, be on the lookout. Connecticut, be on the lookout. Florida, be on the lookout. Georgia, be on the lookout. North Carolina, be on the lookout. Tennessee, be on the lookout. Mississippi, be on the lookout. Pennsylvania, specifically Reading and Philadelphia, be on the lookout. New York, it includes New York City. It includes Albany, New York, and it includes Buffalo, Niagara, New York. Be on the lookout. Vermont, that is coming soon as a precaution on the bottom of the list. And the bottom of the list means that he may journey toward or through your area to get where he's going. Authorities now have a better understanding of what his end game is if he cannot execute the people he's trying. He doesn't have a list of names. I'm going to put that out there. If you're a victim of his, don't be scared that he's coming for you. He's looking for 5 random people. For all we know, he'll walk into a mall and just start popping, and that's going to be Zimmerman, and we don't want that to happen. We want him to get popped. We want him to get caught. We want him to go to a prison. The best scenario would be him alive in prison, because we don't shoot to kill in America. But if he doesn't surrender, that's going to happen. So again, be on the lookout in Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Connecticut, Mississippi, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, New York, North Carolina, Arkansas I got, Florida I got. You guys can see the tweet. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Philly, start looking around the hood, because this guy, girl, whatever, no disrespect, because yesterday I tweeted about a girl that went missing, and I thought possibly maybe this sicko Zimmerman did something, but she was found safe, you know. So when I talk about Zimmerman, I'm not trashing the LGBTQ community or the trans community. I'm trashing a guy that's dressing as a woman to kill women and rape men, and then he dresses like a man to rape women. It's a very strange situation. Stay safe, stay vigilant, be on the